I mean, so I got 2 pieces of gum. I got a piece of gum I could eat. I got the other piece on my sucker, and I can just wait and eat that gum later. At least that's what I did when I was a kid, so I kept the routine going. So I called myself...
Who has like all of these rules? Like, I'm gonna split it in half. Got exactly 50% now. And 50%. Man, eat the sucker, man. Eat the gum, man.
So look.
Good morning. Welcome to the Always Ready Man podcast. We live, baby, once again. Coming at you full effect. Having some fun today, man. Make sure that you subscribe. Listen, every week, why we gotta tell you every week the same thing? Subscribe, man. Subscribe. It's the button below. Just subscribe, man. You know, get our numbers up, baby. We gotta get our numbers up. They watching us. Who watching us?
Who is watching?
I don't know. They watching us.
Whoever they are.
They watching us. Get our numbers up, man.
Good.
Hit us on the alwaysreadyonline.com. More information. Join our Always Ready movement. Hey, we got a special one this week.
Okay.
We got a special one this week.
I don't even know about it.
You don't even know about it yet. Hey, you gotta get hipped on the movement, man. Check into our live trainings every Thursday evening at 6:30. It's gonna be a good one this week. You wanna make sure you do that. So hit the Always Ready online. And then, catch us on the podcast as well, wherever you get your podcast from.
That's Spotify,
Easy.
Apple Podcasts, all of it. We ready to go, baby.
Podcast Central. Let's go.
All right, let's dive right in. So look, last week we was talking about your tooth?
Yeah, man.
So last week, this is your fault. Last week we was talking about teeth and getting teeth and chips fixed.
Yeah.
So we talking about the process, and I'm like, listen, man, like I had my tooth chipped when I was 12, and went in and got it fixed, and it lasted for until I was 32. So it was 20 years, and then I had to get it refixed, and then no problem since then. So
I'm still rocking the chip game. I ain't got him fixed yet. I've been debating. Next time.
Come on now. You gave a good message on it.
I did give a good message.
So I found a good message in this too.
All right, talk to me.
So Friday, first of all, one of my favorite candies growing up was when the blue raspberry blow pop came out, right? It was a blue raspberry blow pop.
That's terrible.
Man, so.
It turns your tongue purple.
I know.
Who wants to walk around with a purple tongue all day?
We still quarantining again, I guess, so
right.
Ain't nobody gonna see me.
All right.
So I got a 50 pack from Amazon. So, it was a nice routine going on because my daughter would eat one, I would eat one, and I would eat, you know what I mean? Whenever she eat one, I eat one, right? So Friday.
Justify the situation.
Yeah, for sure. So Friday, I'm like, man, I'm about to get a blow pop. So I'm eating my blow pop, and a blow pop gets down to where the gum is there. You know what I mean? And so what I like to do is to bite the top half off with my front teeth, like a smooth little cut. You know what I mean? So I got 2 pieces of gum. I got a piece of gum I could eat. I got the other piece on my sucker, and I can just wait and eat that gum later. At least that's what I did when I was a kid, so I kept the routine going. So I called myself...
Who has all of these rules? Like, I'm gonna split it in half. Got exactly 50% now. And 50%. Man, eat the sucker, man. Eat the gum, man.
So look, I go to bite it, and with my front teeth, it didn't sound right.
Selfish.
And I looked at the blow pop.
Oh.
And it was like a small, tiny piece of my tooth in the blow pop.
Oh.
So I chipped off the piece that I had
fixed.
And so now, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday, I got a chipped tooth. So this is bothering me the whole time. So shout out to Dr. Baker, by the way, over at Pure Dental, because I hit her up like, listen, I need to get in. She's like, we not.
Let me see. Oh, that's good money.
She's like, we not even open. I was like, man, you got to get me in. She's like, I'll get you first thing on Monday. And I thought she was just trying to get me to stop bugging her. Anyway.
They not open because of the COVID?
Well, they just not open on the weekends. So I went in first thing, 11, get in a chair. Bruh, I told you 10 minutes. It was 30 minutes. It's actually not 10, it's 30. But, it's a little process. It's basically like patching up a hole, man. You put a whole bunch. They drill it down, do the whole deal, got in and out. Like it never even happened.
Good money.
Good. Told her I had to get on the Always Ready podcast.
So what did you learn? What's your lesson?
It's funny, when I was sitting there laying on my back, I'm sitting there, it's like 7 different drill bits or whatever, little heads, like, you know what I mean? They gotta like mold it, put it on, like heat it, harden it, then go through and with the, you know, first little drill thing, second, third, fourth, then you got to look at it. Does it look okay? I know it still don't feel smooth. And they got to go through it again, and you got to look at it again. Is it exactly what you want? Does it look right? No, it look right. Okay, now we got to polish it. And then Dr. Baker had to come in, and she had to look at it again. And then they had to smooth in between your teeth and make sure in between your teeth was perfect until it was absolutely, she's like, I needed to be perfect for you. Then measure up the little color of your tooth and make sure it's all good. And I started thinking, just in general, just the process, man. I was laying there like, man, this process is dope. Because she is perfecting my tooth right now. But I couldn't just walk in there and it was exactly what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted it to look exactly like my other tooth did. Like, I don't want no different. This is exactly what I want it to look like. And now I got to go through this process. And it was extremely uncomfortable. At least the part where they were shaving inside of your tooth. You know what I'm saying? Because they can do underneath, but they had to do like almost like sandpaper in between. And it kind of caught my gum a little bit. And she's like, I'm sorry, it's just going to be a little bit uncomfortable. And, you know, we always talking about mindset, man, but just that process of drilling, of grinding, of, you know what I mean, just being uncomfortable to get to the desired outcome that you want. And most people are not, most people will do what you did. Like, man, I'm just not trying to go through it. I'm just not trying to go through it. But once you go through it, you're going to be like, man, I should have did this a long time ago.
You should have been fixed.
So that's the lesson. Yeah. Sometimes it's a process of drilling, a process of grinding, a process of being uncomfortable. But if it's something that you really want and you really desire, you got to be willing to go through it. And then once you go through it and have exactly what you want, you'll see it was worth it.
Now you got your shinies back.
Yeah.
That's why I told my daughter when she brushed her teeth. You got your shinies? She be like, yeah.
Oh, and always bite your blow pop with your back teeth.
Thank you. That was really the lesson learned that I was going for. Like, that's, you know, it. you gave you know what I mean? You gave a good lesson, but I was like, hey, just bite it with your back teeth, man. Come on, man.
Listen,
you might not get 50%. I mean, I just don't understand, bro. You are 6'3", 260. Who's saving a half a piece of blow pop, bro? Eat the dang on thing. you too big to be biting a half a blow pop, man.
You know my personality, man. It's my mindset. I was trying to be efficient. Like, if I can eat half of the piece of gum now. Because, you know, too much blow pop gum with all that candy, it's just too much, man. You end up spitting it out. It's kind of like that.
It don't last no way.
That's my point. So you eat half and half.
Half now, half later. It only lasts for like 7 minutes.
Not even that long.
If you're lucky.
Not even that long. Not even that long, bro. But it was worth it, though. I'm excited now. I'm good.
Good. You good, man. So is there any restrictions right now? Like,
no, I'm good. Right out the gate. You're good to go. Good money, baby. We good.
You do whatever.
Whatever. Not eat blow pops, but you good.
Okay. All right. I gotta. Like I said, I've been thinking about it. Next go round, I might.
You gotta do it. It took 30 minutes, man. I'm telling you, you feel like a new person.
I mean, I might want the old me though. What Kanye said, they want the new Kanye.
No, Kanye said he said in his song, he said they want the calm Ye.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, you're not getting the calm Ye. Kanye, you can't calm me down.
Easy.
Can't shut me down.
I heard this morning.
Did you?
I hadn't heard it yet. I heard it in the gym this morning. Man, listen,
it's hard, don't it?
Listen, man,
wash us in the blood.
I went to the gym today. Did not want to go to the gym. Like, went to bed late. Probably went to bed around 2 a.m. Alarm clock buzzing at 5. You know, alarm clock go off in the morning. You really like debating with yourself. Like, is this real? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Is this really happening? But I decided to get up, man, and I got it in today, man. And I heard Kanye. So here's the deal: if I would have never went to the gym, I'd have never heard Kanye.
What's the lesson in that? What you learned?
Huh?
What you learned from that?
Well, stemming from last week, I like the song and I might vote for him for president.
If you don't get up at 5 in the morning, if we ain't up at 5 in the morning, I don't hear his new song and he just got your vote just from the song.
Hey, man, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Going hard.
Hey, we in there.
So this weekend though, I've been waiting to hear your perspective on this. So this weekend, massive relationship news, right? Massive relationship news, some wisdom for some people, some guidance, some anger, some confusion with Jada and Will and
Entanglement
August.
with August. Entanglement with August. Entanglement.
You gonna have to share that. You gonna have to share that video. You gonna have to share that one. So talk to me, man. What happened, man? Like tell the people what happened, man. What you gathered, because you probably only know half the story because you don't keep up with everything.
Yeah. I only know half for real. You know, my better half keep me somewhat connected to the real world at times, but we seen something like a few weeks ago. You know what I mean? Something came out. August came out. And I saw just a little bit of post. What I remember. Do you remember watching the post from August? His joint. I just remember his hair. Like I was watching it.
I had never heard of August as a person until like this weekend.
Really?
Never. I'm out the game.
Nah, August, he got some pretty good music. You ain't never heard his album?
Never heard his album.
Oh, yeah. He talented. He talented. It's weird because like he. Like you know, at first glance and the way he talk, carry himself, like you would see himself as a kind of a street dude, you know what I mean? Maybe a street dude. But you know, he's a singer. He's an R&B, you know what I mean? You know, so he's got that. He's very emotional.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's very emotional.
He's like genuine.
But he's came out on several interviews. I've kind of watched him in the past and followed him a while back. But very emotional, very, you know, tapped in. I was just confused, you know, whenever he came out a few weeks ago and started talking about this whole Jada thing, I was trying to figure out his hair.
So you wasn't even paying attention.
Like I was just like, man, what is this dude's hair doing? Like I couldn't tell if he had a wig on. Like I was watching it from afar. I didn't really like dive into it all the way. And I was just like, man, this dude crazy. And, you know, so of course when it first came out, you know, everybody you kind of didn't, you know, you can't believe everything, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dude, you know, must be tripping. Now, of course, you know, Jada and Will's relationship has been in the public spotlight for years, and, you know, whatever they do in they situation.
Man, they've been together since '97.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. What was that, Shaft? What, before Shaft?
Man, what?
Wasn't she in Shaft?
Yeah. She wasn't in Shaft? You mean Low Down Dirty Shame?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Low Down Dirty Shame. Same thing.
Yeah, that was around there about 95.
Yeah.
96. That's when she was she was on. Yeah, that was probably her coming out party. Low Down Dirty Shame.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, nobody really believed it. I mean, I didn't know what to believe. I know Will and them, they done had a little situation. So anyway, coming out when she came, set herself at the red table, brought her own self to the situation, said, look, I hear a lot of things, you know,
her and Will,
rumoring around.
They both is at the table.
Yeah. So we're going to come together at the table and we're going to talk about it. Now, obviously, so a couple things. One, that takes a lot of humility, right? Like, yo, we're going to address this. As a couple, we're going to address it in the public. Of course, social media now, right? I mean, like, we're going to address it the right way, clear the air, which, I mean, you can argue, is that like a good thing or a bad?
Yeah,
like,
I hit on that when you go. Go ahead.
Or a bad thing. Like, just keep cats guessing. Like, you ain't got to tell them all the whole junk. But they decided to come clear with it, tell their story.
They're definitely selling it. I mean, you talking 20 million, 25 million. I mean, they pushing major hits, and I'm talking, you know, a weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like a 6-hour period, they was at like 10 million views in a 6-hour period. So I don't know what it is right now.
Yeah, so you definitely get to the players, all right, is there ulterior motive behind any of this stuff? Of course, I mean, right, he's kind of like Kanye. He probably got an album coming out.
Well, August did.
Yeah,
he did.
He's got something.
It's out now, I think.
Okay.
All right. So that kind of made him relevant.
Yeah, so he had to catch a spark. He had to catch a wave. They probably like playing that like, hey man, you got anything in your past? He's probably like, well,
there's that whole
maybe I'll bring that up. Anyway, man, so they get to it. They talk about it. She comes out and she just discloses the whole situation. Like, yes, this was true. It's not a rumor. You know, we did have an entanglement.
That's a whole new word.
Whatever.
She introduced a whole new word to the culture for relationships.
Hey, somebody said T.I. mad because she used it first.
Right.
But it was like me, you, Tip.
Dave.
But yeah, man. So she came out, said it, and people been riding that wave, bro. It's been funny. It's been good entertainment. Nothing else.
So from a relationship standpoint, what you learned from watching them, or what did you agree with or didn't agree with the whole way they did it?
Well, here's the thing. You know, they talked about how long ago it was, this situation, 3.5, 4 years ago, whatever. Right. And so I would imagine that Will and Jada, you know, they talked about how they were split. They came back together. They seem like they have a very open communication system and relationship. And I'm sure they've talked about this particular incident together internally. Yeah. It was just
they on vacation right now in the Bahamas, by the way.
Oh yeah, okay. They spending some of that YouTube
that
money.
Facebook, YouTube
money. And so, you know, they some rumors came around. August decided, okay, these many years later, I'm gonna bring it up to sell his album, and so they just decided to address it. I mean, again, like I said, it takes a lot to come to that table publicly. You know what I mean? They're used to it because they live very public lives. But I think it takes a lot to come to that table, man, and share your business, especially with your kids. Now their kids is a little bit older, but still, you know what I mean? I don't know how much their kids was involved in knowing this, and now you like, dang, ma, you know, or what have you. So, yeah, man, it just takes a lot, man. But you know, I commend them for, you know, having that level of humility, man, to be able to do so, and a level of respect for each other, and you know, I mean, just be able to face it. You know what I mean? Be able to face it in the public's eye.
I think there's two sides of it. I mean, there's always to take responsibility and like strip anybody else of their power to control or manipulate the conversation or the narrative. So you like, okay, you can say that. So now I'm about to go to my platform, which is, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times bigger than any platform that you have. I'm gonna sit down with my husband. We're gonna go in for 12 minutes, disclose all, put it to bed, and let everybody, including us, talk about it. You know what I mean? Get them views, get them touches. Y'all can kind of come to your own conclusion. And, you know, that's kind of like, even like a good movie or a good documentary or anything worth discussing is like, you're going to have good and bad to it. Like if people are talking about it and can discuss and get better, you know what I'm saying? Like, go for it. We're going to throw this out to y'all and let y'all handle it, let y'all deal with it. And however it lines with your personal values and all that. And so I think that part is always crazy. Like, hey, y'all, we're going to throw this out there. We out. Peace. Because we don't have to respond to what we just said. You know what I mean? We put it out there, so we don't have to say nothing else about it because we kind of realign the narrative. Now, obviously, I can't remember what August started saying off of that. Once he heard, I don't remember what his rebuttal was.
I haven't followed anything.
Yeah, and I haven't either, so I don't know what his rebuttal would have been. So that's cool. I like taking control of the situation and saying, hey, man, this is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Y'all gonna think what y'all gonna think anyway because y'all was doing y'all research. Y'all was gonna figure out, and I would rather create it than y'all. At the same time, though, I am more of a private dude. Like, now you're married, but if I'm married, I'm not bringing my wife to the table and now we about to go through this whole thing that we probably done handled on the back end, you know what I mean, behind the scenes. And now I got to sit and do this again in front of everybody, and now we including the whole world. Right. With a conversation that we had in our living room, maybe with our closest family or our kids or people that knew about it or something coming up, we talked to them about it and we moved off of it. Now we bringing and inviting in everybody to our situation. And not only that, once that many voices get involved as a human, you got to work that much harder to try and like make sure we keep everybody out now. Because now anybody that's attacking Jada, people's trying to dig up stuff on Will now. Like, well, what did Will do? You know what I'm saying? So while that's going on, then them two got to make sure that all the tabloids and all the publications and everybody that's saying all this stuff and more rumors are swirling, and did Jada give all the information up and then August come back out and say something? Now they got to almost like work even harder now to make their relationship even tighter from inviting everybody else in. Now, I'm not saying that they couldn't have made a statement, but if you watch the body language of Will Bro, he was
Man,
sitting there like,
he was almost
man.
crying.
But at the same time, Will good at crying too, in the movies. You know what I mean? But I mean, you got to sit through that, and you got to support your wife. But at the same time, you get to make a choice on inviting the whole world into your relationship, and then hoping for the best. Like, okay, moving forward, everybody that I look at, and everybody that's gonna be looking at you, like, man, you know, my wife cheated on me, because he don't got no marks on him right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's just another piece of the puzzle. Now, again, personally, I wouldn't have went that far with it.
Would you do it for $10 million?
Nah, it ain't worth it. Because, bro, I'm Will Smith. I don't need that 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need that 10. She might need that 10. I don't know their arrangement. I don't know their arrangement. You know what I mean? But, I mean, 10 would sound good, but I'm just not, I just believe in, like, fortifying your family and shielding off all that outside noise. So if dude come out and say something and my family already know what it is, we figure out the best way to put out a statement and or a Instagram post or whatever. Put a picture of me, Will, and the family, like, yo, we kicking it right now in the Bahamas, having a good time. You know, hopefully he have a nice album release or whatever, and just keep it moving.
I definitely think it would have calmed down a lot quicker if they would have just did that. You know what I mean? Again, August, he's known to fly off the handle. He's known to say, you know, kind of outlandish things. People would have probably just chalked it up. Okay, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. He's got an album, listen to his album, and keep it pushing. Now that the big guns, to your point, done came out, Big Will, you know, big Willie.
Man, that's Will Smith, though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's just not like a regular dude.
Yeah, and so now they have extended. I mean, now you got memes, you got dances and soundtracks. I mean,
everything.
who knows? You got a whole new word that's
Entanglement is out there.
I mean, you know, it's in a dictionary, but I'm saying, you know, now people are gonna be using that that's gonna be 2020's
you
word.
Remember, like on Facebook, I don't know if it's still an option, but like for relationship status is like in a relationship, married. It's complicated. They're gonna add entanglement.
I'm in an entanglement. What does that mean? Like physically or like?
I don't know.
So
it's
mean,
confusing.
It's gonna be a while. And I think you said earlier. You said August. Month of August is gonna be brutal.
Month.
It's gonna be brutal for them.
That's a bad month.
And then you got the 2 weeks leading up to it. Then you're gonna have at least a couple weeks after. They're gonna be like, man, you remember last week? What was last week? August. So yeah,
August
man.
1st, August 2nd, August 23rd. Like
it's gonna be fun.
Forever.
It's gonna be fun.
Every
but you
year.
know what, man?
Every year.
Every year.
1 month out the year, it's gonna be a reminder.
Dang. But you know what, man?
You gonna just call it? What's another? I was about to say autumn. That's just for fall. What's another name for August? You can't just call it summertime.
Summer.
And that's when they play a song too. Dang.
He got a lot of stripes.
That's all bad.
But you know what, man? You know what I appreciated though, for real. I appreciated they're in the entertainment business. This has been nothing but entertainment. You know, I know it's their personal lives, and you know sometimes those lines get blurred and gets crossed. But you know, again, it just talks a lot about them, man. How when you can bring something to the table like that, especially after it's been some time, even though they may not fully be completely healed from it, so to speak, it's in a good place.
Right.
Like when you get there and they laughing and joking,
Right.
You know what, man? We've been there, we done that. We can joke about it, we can laugh about it. Let's move on, right? Like life is too short, you know what I'm saying, to be dealing with that. So again, it says a lot about them as a couple. It says a lot about them individually. It says a lot about them as a family. And at the end of the day, man, you know, what is it? I don't know the divorce rate these days. I know it's high, 60%, something crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, if mistakes happen, you know what I'm saying? If people can, and you know, you in your own situation, but if people can learn to just at least take that, what they show, you know what I'm saying, and come together and at least talk or communicate, you know, make the right decisions, not emotionally, but you know what I'm saying, like actually think through and together come to a decision, man, that's best for yourselves and the family. I mean, I think, you know, we'd be in a much better situation from that standpoint.
Man, let me say this too. I can't stand when it comes to personal gain, the whistleblower, dog. Like, I can't stand it. Like, there's no reason for him to bring up Jada at all. Bro, put your album out and just do your music.
You got to, though.
Just do your music.
Nobody even knew he had an album out.
Just do your music, bro. Like, and so it's like, I get it. Like, if we're talking about crimes being committed and or stuff, you know what I mean? The Me Too movement was huge. You know what I mean? People doing things, and you talking about assaults and all that. Like, I get it. Tell it. You talking about a crime being committed. But bro, don't like all of a sudden, because it's gonna benefit you, you got some dirt on somebody, you just gonna throw him under the bus just because. Like,
he was hurt, man. It's not like he was hurt. It's not like he's still mourning a little bit.
Well, he was talking like that too, like he was in love and like, you know what I'm saying? But that ain't got nothing to do with it, bro. Just man up, bro. Like, stop talking. Just stop using somebody else's name in a public forum to help yourself. You know what I mean? That's where we at now.
That's what life.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I just that person. Like, come on, man. Like, what? Like, ain't no sense me talking bad about somebody on a public forum, purposely to try and get them to come on this side to kind of battle toe to toe with me, so I can use their platform and their position to help boost mine. Like, nah, I'm not even giving you that time of day, man. Not even doing it.
Actually, man, that kind of bring me to something. I've been. Well, let me ask you a question. So since we kind of talking about relationships and value, and you know whether it went down or whether it went up, what can depreciate and appreciate at the same time?
So what can go up and down at the same time? Mm-hmm. Bro, I don't feel like wasting dead seconds trying to think about it.
Come on, man, give me a guess, man.
I don't know, bro.
Depreciate and appreciate.
Water.
Property. Real estate.
I said water. Same thing.
Water and real estate?
Yeah, man, property.
Water properties?
Like,
Waterfront?
Like Walter, my friend.
Waterfront property? Nah, property, man. Real estate.
Be formless,
real estate.
like Walter, my friend.
So I've been kind of like back on my real estate grind here recently, man. Last week we gave some tax.
Is that a joke?
No, it wasn't.
It's like a riddle.
Nah, it was just a question. I'm getting to what I'm trying to say here.
All right.
I'm saying I've been on my real estate grind. Getting back in the real estate game. You know, I was heavy in the real estate. No. Let me correct that.
What is the definition of heavy?
I was not heavy. I was in the game years ago, man. I had rental properties and things of that nature. I was dead smack in the downfall, in the pits in 08 and 09 when real estate was nothing. And so, you know, I kind of stepped away. I kind of, you know, tried my hand at some other things. Got rid of some properties, things of that nature. Kick myself in the butt to this day. Wish that I would have had a little bit more foresight, a little more wisdom and knowledge to hold on to those properties. Man, I would be up 4 or 5 times at this point. But anyway, never too late, right? So kind of understanding the market, understanding what's going on. You know, real estate has always kind of been there, been a passion, just been a connection. And so I'm kind of diving back into it. And been looking at different properties and different things of that nature recently. So I was at a property here yesterday, and as I'm walking through it, it just started to click in my head. And of course, when we're talking about, you know, these relationships and a relationship being depreciated, being devalued, being undermined, you know what I mean, being lowered, being degraded. But then at the same time, appreciate it. You know what I mean? So, on one end, you know, we're talking just Jada and Will thing, and you got an August that's depreciating their names and defaming their character, so forth and so on. But they've come to the table to show you how much they appreciate each other, and their relationship has grown. It's appreciated. It's grown in value. They're back together as one, right? And so, while all this is going, you're going down and you're going up. It's not a lot of things that can go down and up at the same time. You know what I mean? But when you think of this real estate, it's like, man, it can depreciate and appreciate at the same time. It's freaking amazing. You know, when you think about it. And so I gave some tax information. Listen, I'm not a tax I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax provider or serviceman. This is all for entertainment and educational purposes only. But
go research your own stuff.
But taxes is due Wednesday,
Wednesday.
July 15th. All right. I've been doing my taxes, and of course, still got some property, looking at depreciation, looking at appreciation. And I just start thinking, man, as far as like how that happens, right? And in our lives, you know what I mean, there's a lot of times where we're just depreciated in value, you know what I mean? Our value is stripped. We're downgraded, we're looked down upon. And so, we're depreciated. That value literally goes down. But when we're in the right location, right? When we're in the right headspace, when we're in the right mindset, when we truly know our value, right? And we're grounded in foundation, then no matter what the depreciation, no matter what we take off of the value, right? We can still appreciate, you know what I mean? Even in times like this, we can still go forward, we can still go up, and we can still appreciate and value, man. And so I was just kind of thinking about that, a lot of the things that we've been, bringing to this platform. And of course, this Will and Jada piece, man. And then tying it back into real estate. If you don't have some real estate in your portfolio, man, you need to get some real estate. You know what I mean? It's a great tax benefit and shelter, because you can take off the depreciation of your assets. All right, assets. Go get some sets on your ass. You can take off the depreciation on your assets.
Doing the workout.
And you can appreciate in value, man. Real estate is a great play to start creating generational wealth. And in the meantime, like I said, be able to move around, man, and generate cash flow. So just tying some things in, man.
You got people now, they're gonna be like, man, I got 2 days to get me some property. He told me to get something right now.
Hey, if you need something, I got something for you.
You know what's dope about that? Before we jump off, is, you mentioned the appreciation part, and then you mentioned location, but a lot of it is connecting to the right people that can envision and see what you can become. And so you might say, hey, I'm going to this particular area, and somebody else may say, that's trash. Why would you buy that property? There's no reason for you to buy this. It's trash. And you like, nah, I can see the potential of what it can become and what it can become if the other area around it gets elevated as well. So you were talking in regards to dealing with your life. And it's just about who you surround yourself with and the people that do come into your life. How do they see you? And so a lot of times people that come in as encouragers, or people that's helping you through challenging times, they can see the greatness that's in you. That's why everybody needs a coach. That's why y'all should make sure y'all on Thursdays, Always Ready training with the Always Ready movement for us to get on and to build and to help you grow, because everybody needs somebody to push them that can see something inside of you that you couldn't. The only reason we was able to get from middle school to high school, from high school to playing college ball, from college ball to the NFL, is we had coaches that was willing to pull and push us and pull things out of us that we didn't even know was there. So I think that's a part of it too, man. That's
get you a coach, or get you a realtor.
And a tax person, and a tax guy, an accountant. Get all of it.
Easy money.
All right, man. Good show, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Good work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
hey,
sir.
Again, make sure you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening live, make sure you drop a comment. And make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. We everywhere. We on every platform. And if you can't do that, send a carrier pigeon to us. AlwaysReady.com.
Entanglement with August. Entanglement with August.
He's so good, I'm so grateful, he's so good. Hey, life is but a dream, no matter what you've been through. Replace the fake around you, but